You've been a big supporter of mental health. Can you walk me through some of your challenges that you've experienced in the past? Even maybe
past, present, future. I am a massive believer that anyone that's in business is either experiencing mental health challenges, has experienced mental health challenges, or is about to experience mental health challenges because of the pressures that we put ourselves under. When you are trying to do pretty much every single frickin' role in a business, you're naturally good at some things, you absolutely suck at others. There is a heap of self-doubt, a heap of pressure, there is anxiety, and we all feel those pressures. Myself, I frame it like this. I don't suffer from mental health issues or depression. I fight those things. So I think there's a big difference between suffering and fighting. So
what do you mean by fighting?
When you can recognize something and you take action to defeat it or to make a change, you are combating it and you are making changes to make sure that you get a different outcome. If you suffer from it, then you are at the mercy of whatever the signs, symptoms, condition is.
Got it.
So I am like anybody else, and the fact that I have issues around tall poppy syndrome, imposter syndrome, you know, am I this guy that can do all of this stuff? Self-doubt always creeps in. I am crap at accounting. Thank goodness I've got business partners that have got strength in those areas. But there is always somebody out there, and in my case, plenty of people out there that are better at doing what I do than me. So don't let it fuck with your head. It's just, you got to be the best version of you.
What strategies do you employ on a daily basis to fight? Can you think of anything that you do when you know, or perhaps what are some of the triggers? Perhaps on a daily basis, do you see come up and you think, man, I've just got to take action on this one?
Yep. So interestingly, this is something that I've been talking with Rochelle Price from Maximum Altitude about quite a bit lately. It's around that mental fitness as opposed to mental health. Again, a slightly different tack on it. Where for me, I've tried meditation and I'm continuing to try meditation and all that, but my brain tends to go at a gazillion miles an hour. What I find helps massively is exercise. And Greg Gillies, who's a coach out there that helps men, whether they're having mental health issues or anything like that, but he's a friend of mine I've known for years. We were having the same discussion, and he nailed it when he said, what you do is actually active meditation. So whether it's running or whether it's on a rowing machine, it's a repetitive action that takes my brain away from thinking about shit and focusing on the repetitive action itself, whether it's those footsteps on the trail or whether it's rowing away and looking at the numbers on the screen, being able to quiet the mind. In regards to triggers, I'm in business, every day's a trigger. So I'm really, really passionate about my business, and I'm really, really passionate about my clients. I know if somebody wants to leave, if we haven't added enough value, I know that we're doing everything that we can, and if we're not, we should be sticking our hands up. But it's one of those things that every single time it triggers that self-doubt around, are we doing the right thing? Are we good enough? Am I doing this? Have I made the right decision? Every time we go to put a price increase in place, every time I launch a new program, every time you put yourself outside of your comfort zone and try something new, that self-doubt creeps in. But my philosophy is run towards it as opposed to run away from it.
We believe in you, and I'm sure many people over here believe in you. Speaking of putting your hand up, and what support do you think is out there? Everybody's talking about it, but it just seems to be a thing that just keeps coming up and up and up, and everyone keeps talking about it. What action needs to be done? Is it a personal thing, or are there organisations out there that can really help?
Yeah,
Because no one wants to admit it, do they?
No, they don't. But there are plenty of organisations out there that have got tools, resources and things like that, I think, to help you identify whether or not you are having mental health issues. And there are some great action plans, so depression.org, the Mental Health Foundation. I mean, John Kirwan's been an amazing ambassador in this area, and he's, I think, while I haven't gone through this program and things like that, from what I see of it, he is very, very aligned with my sort of thinking and around finding a routine, identifying your triggers, exercise, eating well. That's another thing. As soon as, booze, I think, is a big thing.
Well, I'm doing dry July at the moment, and I have to say that it's been the best month up here.
Yep.
Because it's like, my doctor said, John, you realise that alcohol's a depressant.
Yeah.
And it's like you have a down day, you feel like having a drink and going, fuck it, I want out, and then you feel worse the next day.
Yep.
So, cutting out the alcohol, or finding a routine that you might drink on the social times.
Yep.
But do you really need it the rest of the time? No, you don't.
Yeah, I think it's about creating positive, proactive routines rather than negative, impactful cycles. And it's easier said than done. But I think also, like everyone always says, and it's easy to say and it's hard to do, fucking talk to somebody. And it's not a problem shared, it's a problem halved. It's just, I don't know how many times I have read in the newspaper, seen an article on TV about somebody that was apparently happy, having this wonderful life, and then they go and top themselves or try. And people didn't know, because all there was is there's this outside persona that they were trying to remit about how amazing everything was and things like that, but deep down inside they were struggling. And unless we know, then we can't help each other.
Glenn Marvin, thank you so much. It's a short interview around mental health, and thank you for being the fighter that you are. And if you need some help, there are plenty of places that you can go to, or you can simply comment below this video and share your journey. There are numerous people out there who love and care and support. And if you put on the LinkedIn fam,
Yep.
it really is a fam. And people out there want to know that you're fine, whether they like, trust or value. That's another conversation, but we need wellness first.
Absolutely, and that's why I'm a massive advocate, and it's also why when I talk about Connector, I say we're building a community, not a business. Yep, we have to make money, but I want to have a community feel around the clients that we work with, where we're supporting each other to be successful, not a client-mentor relationship.
Hear, hear. Hear, hear.
Awesome. All right,
Cool.
brother.
See you then.
Thanks, bud.
Cool.